Hey everybody, thank you so much for listening to Real Pineapple. Yay! Scott, how you doing, my friend?
So good. So good.
I am happy to hear that.
How are you doing, Hunter?
I'm doing great, man. I'm I'm a little high, Scott. I know I've never smoked on the podcast before, so this is definitely new territory for me. But
How dare you?
I know, but damn it,
Well, you
I'm
can
gonna give.
legally say that now.
But damn it, I'm gonna give it a shot. I so we're reviewing the latest trailer for Logan and kind of talking about what we expect heading in. So I think I've shared this on the podcast before, but my first comic I ever read was an X-Men comic. I have genuine attachment to these characters. I've loved them since I was a kid. I think we all remember the Fox X-Men cartoon, which is still, I say, is one of the best cartoons that's ever been made. I fucking love that cartoon. Fucking love that shit, man. Actually, I'm gonna watch that after I get off this. After we get off this through this podcast, I'm gonna go on Hulu. I'm gonna watch X-Men. If you didn't know it was on there, you're welcome. But I genuinely love these characters, and to say that the movies have not been super swell across the board would be pretty accurate, especially the Wolverine movies. The first Wolverine movie was just dog shit, just wrapped in dog shit. It's a fucking horrible movie. But then you get to you get to the Wolverine, and it's a good movie for the first like 2/3 of it, and then the last third is pretty dumb. But it going into Logan, and we have what, like 10 days before this comes out, 11 days. Um, I will say this is the most excited I've been for a Wolverine movie.
Yeah, I feel like it's like you keep seeing Hugh Jackman, but I always want more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't mind seeing him in this. I feel like you could argue for sure that he's been played out and that this is an unnecessary movie, but it looks pretty badass. And obviously going off the trailer, can't it's we have a limited view of what this movie is even going to be about. But I mean, just it, Wolverine's the best.
it's like, so this is where I'm torn because I I have so much respect for Hugh Jackman. I mean, the guy's been. I think the first X-Men movie. Oh my God, when did the first X-Men movie come out?
Ooh, that's a good little.
2001 maybe.
I was gonna say 2004.
2000.
Ooh,
2000.
really?
So he's been playing Wolverine for 17 goddamn years. Like, he has worked, and I can only imagine staying in that good a shape is not fucking easy. So I mean, you see him. So you remember the first Wolverine? Like, he's in good shape, but then the second Wolverine, he was like cut, like
Yeah.
really cut. And then you see him on the Wolverine, and you're like, Jesus Christ, how the fuck do you keep doing this? So Hugh Jackman is, he's a hell of an actor too. I mean, Les Mis, and I actually like Real Steel. I don't care what anybody says. And then
I love Real
I
Steel.
really like Real Steel actually. And as I mentioned, Les Mis, and then oh god, is it Prisoners? I'm thinking of Prisoners. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
and the Prestige, obviously. I fucking love Hugh Jackman. I think he's one of the best actors we have. Period. And so I'm I'm happy for him that this is his last ride, and we'll see
We'll see. Yeah.
just because Ryan Reynolds has been saying, "Hey, Wolverine and Deadpool have so many great adventures together," and I think if they floated a $20 million check in front of Hugh Jackman, he'd be like, "All right, fine, I can do another 6 months." I think he'd.
Well, just to give you some perspective, the box office so far for the 9 films is $4.3 billion,
Jesus Christ.
and the total budget is 1.2 million. So they're net like $2.9 billion right now. I think they're gonna keep making them.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, I think what's insane about these movies overall is that Hugh Jackman, and this is, and I'm gonna kind of cross the streams here, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I want Iron Man to die in the next Avengers movie. And hear
Ooh.
me out, because I know some people are like, what the fuck? Hear me out, because I don't think the Marvel Cinematic Universe can go forward and continue to grow if Robert Downey Jr. is the basically the Cloud from the Mario Brothers games, where he's just like dropping shells and just like casting the shadow over it. I feel
Mm-hmm.
the same thing about Hugh Jackman. I think Wolverine needs to go away for
Mm-hmm.
about 5 years, because this is something they even did in the comics that fucking pissed me off. They lean so much on Wolverine when they have
Mm-hmm.
so many X-Men and they don't focus the light on any of them. I still haven't. I still don't know what the fuck Storm is about unless I've read the
Mm-hmm.
comics, you know. And she's one of the most powerful mutants in the goddamn universe. So I mean, it's stuff like that with Hugh Jackman's character where it's not his fault, it's the writer's fault. Where I go, yeah, it's kind of time for you to go away for a while, and I'm okay with that. So this looks amazing. That first trailer to set to Johnny Cash's Hurt, that genuinely just it gave me the feels a little bit, Scott. I won't even lie.
I feel like they chose the right female character to play opposite of him too. That little girl looks like she can hold her own.
Yeah. So I mean, I just I will. I'm not gonna say what her character is because I'm just not gonna spoil it in case you guys don't know. But it's important. And then this is loosely based on Old Man Logan, which is a great comic book run. Again, no spoilers, but it's really Wolverine in Western, essentially, is the best way I can describe it without spoilers. So I'm really excited about this movie. This comes out a week from Friday. I will be there opening weekend, probably that Saturday, to see this shit, and I will just be sitting there like, oh my god, like it looks, and it's rated R, and that was the other thing that I actually said this in our Wolverine review. I remember distinctly saying Wolverine's his character stabs people through the chest and slashes and shit. He needs to have a rated R movie, and they can say all they want because Fox has been adamant in saying, "Hey, we were going to make this a rated R movie before Deadpool came out." Bull fucking shit. There's no goddamn way that you guys are going to make this rated R until Deadpool made all the fucking money it did. So spare me on that bullshit. But we get a rated R Wolverine movie, and this is what I've wanted. So hopefully this shit is fantastic. I mean, if I'm thinking of what I will give it, I think I'll give it an A minus when it's all said and done.
Hmm.
But that's kind of what I'm thinking. What about you? How are you feeling about this?
It's tough because they're not these Wolverine movies aren't always home runs. So even not all the X-Men are. So you can't necessarily depend on Hugh Jackman to just pull it out because he never pulls it out. Um,
Well, why would you when you're that beautiful? I
yeah,
mean,
go to the clinic, ouch. Um, I would. I have trouble giving it a what I think it's gonna grade wise, but based off of the trailer, I mean, I would give the trailer like a good solid A.
okay.
Um, expectations, I would say expectations are pretty high. I feel like having watched so many trailers, you get kind of a good sense of what the movie's going to be about and the tone. And I really like the tone that it's going, especially knowing that it's a rated R movie, like you were saying. I feel like they can really gore it up a little bit, which is I think is what they kind of I think they need.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
I mean, the thing is about this, I get scared, Scott. I get scared, Scott, because I see this, and the last Wolverine movie. Remember, we were all so hyped for it, and
Hmm.
then that last third, it fell apart, and I get scared, Scott. I hope it's good. Trust me, I really hope it's good. And that's another thing. One of my friends was like, "You just want all movies, superhero movies besides Marvel, to care." I'm like, to fail. I'm like, "Do you not know who you're talking to? I want all superhero movies to be good. I pray this is good." So fingers crossed.
No one wants a bad superhero movie. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely not. And I actually got kind of offended by it. I was like, "Fuck you!" Like, I read Marvel and DC. Like, I would love I would love for this shit to be, as amazing as Age of Ultron or Civil War, which I just rewatched. Civil War is wonderful, but anyway, so
Just quickly, I didn't realize who the director was. James Mangold. He didn't write the Wolverine, but he directed it. But he did 3:10 to Yuma, which I loved.
Yes.
Walk the Line, which is an amazing movie. So let's see. Do you remember Night and Day? I sort of remember Night and Day.
Yeah, Tom Cruise and Cameron
He directed that one too. So
it wasn't directed bad. It was just a shit script. But
there's room to be optimistic, is what I'm saying.
There is, and like I said, I what I also like about this is that Hugh Jackman isn't. He's cut, but he's not like overly cut. If
he's
that
got
makes
like
sense.
A dad body. He's got like a super cut dad body.
Yeah, he just, I don't know. He looks like he's aged enough for this role now.
Right.
And that's very.
I'm definitely buying it. Like, it seems like where he's at, like, personally, like, in his career, like, that's where this movie is.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm stoked, man. I pray that he ends up getting it, but we'll see. So, but guys, Logan comes out next weekend. We will have our review up for that along with our best stuff. So, what do you guys think of what are you guys feeling about Logan going in? Are you excited? Are you optimistic? By the way, if you have not seen it yet, Legion, the FX show, is awesome. If you haven't watched that, you should. You can follow us here on SoundCloud, The Real Pineapple 775. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. You can follow Mr. Colin O'Neill. We love you, Colin. Happy belated birthday. You can follow Colin on Twitter at The Real O'Neill, and you can follow Mr. Scott Neerman on Twitter at
Newman the First.
Guys, thank you so much. We'll have reviews up for Justice League Dark this weekend, and I will have a review up of Loving. That's the movie I was gonna watch, which looks really sad, and I just have not wanted to make myself depressed on my vacation, so I haven't watched it yet. But I will have that review up for you guys this weekend. Guys, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.